Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Guys, I was just noticing this Ledger Nano S advertisement here in the top corner of the Daily Hodl, and the reason why it's always kind of here on the Daily Hodl. I guess they have a deal with Ledger, but right now you can get 20% off, and you can get the Ledger Nano for $79.99. Guys, if you don't have a Ledger Nano S, you probably should get one if you have invested more than $80 in cryptocurrency, just to keep your cryptocurrency safe. You can find a link to that in the descriptions of any of my videos. If you guys don't have a Ledger Nano, I suggest you get one soon. Because a bull run is about to happen, well, I don't know that, but we're going to calculate today, looking at historic averages, when we could possibly see the beginning, the first rumblings of a bull run. I've done lots of videos on historic averages and kind of giving a prediction based on history and chart patterns. And we've looked at all-time highs. We've looked at many different things, but today I'm going to do something a little different. I saw this article here. Mike Novogratz calls the next Bitcoin bull run, plus Ripple and XRP Ethereum, a bunch of news there. And guys, as we know, Bitcoin is the indicator of where other cryptocurrencies will go. I know in the case of XRP, we're looking for the real world utility. And as I've said in many of my videos, there is a two-prong approach with XRP. The first prong being the real world utility. But if that doesn't happen sooner rather than later, we can always rely on good old FOMO. A good old crypto bull market run and having newbies FOMO into the market. So I'm going to read a little bit about this article first. From Bitcoin's institutional FOMO to a huge hiring spree at Ripple, here's a look at some of the stories breaking in the crypto world. So Bitcoin, crypto investor and Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz says institutional investors will determine when the next bull run happens. He believes Fidelity's entrance into the cryptocurrency market could trigger an institutional FOMO that pushes Bitcoin to new highs early next year. And I believe I predicted in one of my last videos that we would see Bitcoin meeting an all-time high in September of next year, 2019. And then I did mention that I hope that actually does happen sooner, and that it probably would happen sooner, because as we know in the cryptocurrency space, this space moves fast. So I can link that old video in the description if you guys are interested. I think Q1 and Q2, if the institutions start coming in, we'll put in new highs, Novogratz told Bloomberg in a new interview. Very interesting. And then Ripple news real quick. Mega hiring spree. The company has 42 open job listings. And today it's revealed that they're looking for a country manager in Brazil. Guys, Ripple, oh my God. These guys are the real McCoy, you know. They're on a hiring spree right now. Look at all these job openings that are available. If you guys are looking for a job and you want to work at Ripple, go to their website, I guess. That's probably the best place to find a job opening there. But let's get back to this Mike Novogratz story, because as we know, we want a bull run to happen sooner rather than later, right? The real world mass adoption is great, and that is the long-term hodl, but where could we see XRP in the shorter term? And for some of you longtime followers of the channel, I love to point out this chart. The Bitcoin historical price action is pure art by Bitcoin Salvador. I link everything in the description, guys. This is basically a chart of historical Bitcoin action since 2011, okay? So it's done in a time lapse, and we can actually see the price action as it goes. I'm not going to play it all the way through. I will link it in the description. But guys, as you know, there have been 3 major bull runs for Bitcoin when it has broken new highs over the last several years, since 2011. And I've put these numbers in a chart here. So I guess I should explain to you what I'm calculating here. 89 weeks. So basically, between the top of this bull run and the top of the next bull run, we saw an 89-week spread. So it took 89 weeks for Bitcoin to go from its all-time high, crash, and then get back up to its all-time high in the first bull run. Second one was around here, 204, okay, and it was a lot shorter. It was at the end of 2012 or early 2013. I think it was 2013, and that only took 29 weeks, okay. The last one was around here. Okay, and this was the longest crash that we had seen for Bitcoin. And we topped out here nearing at the end of 2013, and then there was a huge lull into 2014, 2015. A lot of negative news coming out. The authorities closed down Silk Road. There were a few major players in the space that got arrested and charged. And so a huge lack of confidence in the cryptocurrency space. And as we can see, it wasn't until roughly 2016 that Bitcoin hit this all-time high here of, it was roughly about $1,200, $1,150, something like that. So 169 weeks it took during the third rally up. And so guys, as you can see, these patterns are like bull patterns, right? We see a downswing and then an upswing up here, okay? And the question that's always on our mind, here's the Bitcoin chart on the weekly, and this was also a weekly chart, but let's go to today's chart. We're on this downswing, and when are we going to see this upswing happen once again? And so I just took historic averages. So I took the approximate half-life of what these spreads were. So I took the number of weeks that was half of where this bull, the half-life of the bull, I guess you could say. And so I just divided by 2. And so, you know, to give an idea of half of this time was in a downtrend and then the other half in an uptrend. So what is that midpoint roughly, give or take? Guys, this isn't a perfect science, you know, and I'm just estimating based on historic averages. So the half-life is approximately 42 weeks. You know, it's a little less than that, but I'm being conservative. I'm going to call it up. 45 weeks. During the second uptrend, we saw 29 weeks, so that's roughly 15 weeks, give or take, rounding upward. And then 169 weeks, and we saw the half-life at 85 weeks approximately. So I just took an average of that, and I took 89 plus 29 plus 169 divided by 3, so the average of the spread between all-time highs was 96, and then the half-life of that divided by 2, 48 weeks. And so that's 48 weeks to all-time low, to somewhere in this middle zone where we can assume the downtrend has now ceased and we're going to start to see an uptrend. This isn't necessarily predicting that the uptrend is going to shoot up like a rocket right away after 48 weeks, okay? And so guys, where does 48 weeks bring us? Well, right now we're in the downtrend. We saw Bitcoin at an all-time high back in December. And I've calculated this. This is Bitcoin on a weekly. And guys, we're at 44 weeks right now. So 48 weeks would bring us into mid-November, okay? Just 4 more weeks away. And we can already see this pattern starting here in the Bitcoin chart. You know, the bull is kind of half over. And we'll probably see a lot of basing and then slight move up. And then, you know, by, what did Mike Novogratz say? By quarters 1 and 2, we'll probably see the shift upward when institutional money FOMOs into the market. And guys, we can see that here. When we know an uptrend is going to occur, we start to see higher highs and higher lows. And as you can see here, this last week, this 44th week, we saw a high of Bitcoin going up to, on this chart from Bitfinex, it went up to 77.88. So it made a higher high back from here. And the lows are getting higher as well. So the lowest low we saw from back in June was we saw a Bitcoin of a low of 57.55, and we haven't matched that low since. So could this be the beginning? In 4 weeks, could we really start realistically seeing a trend upward? And guys, I'm saying 4 weeks, give or take. I mean, this is not a perfect science. I'm just using historical averages to predict what could possibly happen. And we have Mike Novogratz calling this, you know. He's actually saying he thinks that quarter 1 and quarter 2, this is when institutions will start coming in and will put in new highs. So he's calling new highs by quarter 1 and quarter 2, meaning that, you know, we need a bit of a ramp up. And so will that ramp up happen by mid-November? Well, we'll see in 4 weeks, won't we? But I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.